Peter Pan and Wendy is directed by David Lowery and tells the story of Peter Pan and Wendy going to Neverland with their brothers, and then they embark on a journey which leads to Hook and them trying to fight against him, and they're trying to learn to grow up. It's basically the original story. I loved the original Peter Pan film as a kid. I really enjoyed the story, the characters, the music, the crocodile, TikTok the crocodile. That was a childhood favorite of mine. I remember renting that VHS in the library, my local library, countless times. So when I heard that there was going to be a live action remake, I immediately wanted to throw out my TV. So I decided to sit down and watch it naturally. And watching this film was unlike any other Disney Plus film I've ever witnessed. It wasn't like Lion King, where I was just sitting there just thinking, why can't I just watch the original? It's just the same movie. And then watching Mulan, being angry about all the decisions, like being actually pissed. Then getting like loathing Pinocchio. And then just coming to this. It's like the culmination of everything wrong with Disney remakes. I'm just sitting there feeling nothing. I felt nothing. I was bored. And I just wanted to do something better with my life. But I had to give this review out, so here we go. The characters. How are the characters? Well, they're all pretty boring. Peter Pan. He is a he's like a lesser version of his animated counterpart. He is kind of like that same kid, but where he kind of acts kind of full of himself a bit. The actor doesn't really sell it. He feels way too young. He feels way too... He doesn't come across as being full of himself. In fact, it comes across as high school acting at times. And I think it's because of the actor they chose. I didn't think he did a really good job portraying that more full of himself, more ambitious, more out of your world kind of character, and just he was just wrong for the role. And then in the later half of the film, he became more of a serious character. Like, he is serious about things, having serious conversations, and I'm like, why? This ain't Peter Pan. This ain't how he would act. Even if he did learn his lesson, his personality would not take a complete 180. Wendy starts off kind of like her animated counterpart, but literally in the first moment she gets to Neverland, and the first time she goes on the adventure with Peter Pan, like in the very beginning when they enter Neverland, once they immediately get attacked by Hook, she immediately doesn't want to be on this adventure anymore and wants to go back home and grown up. There's no progression of character. There is no... I'm not even spoiling anything. This is how we know how the story goes. I'm just saying how this film goes about this character change. It's essential to these characters. It's not a spoiler or anything. It felt too abrupt. And Wendy knows about Peter Pan in this film, and knows about the kind of adventures he goes on, and she should have expected adventures like this where Captain Hook tries to attack Peter Pan. But all of a sudden, it's like she did not expect this to happen and want to go back home. Like, this film's writing and characterizations of these characters just make them feel so dumbed down. And I'm not going to get into the Actually, I am going to get into it. Wendy is a Mary Sue. The movie basically... You know what? I'm just going to spoil the film. It's basically just a worse version of the original. There's nothing much to spoil except everything it does wrong. So enjoy my rant. Wendy is a Mary Sue, and she is a more self-absorbed character. And while she does talk about wanting the others to grow up and go back home and actually mature, the way she goes about it doesn't feel like Wendy. She doesn't feel like she actually cares for these characters, and that's also due to the actress they chose. I think she felt wrong for the role, and the way she acts alongside other characters just doesn't feel like how Wendy would act. It honestly kind of takes away from her character a little bit. The fact that her character is to learn that she is good at everything already, and she just needs to believe in herself like always. Again, I've seen this kind of characterization before for other characters in movies, and my opinion on that is that it takes away from the emotional journey these characters will have to go through, and because they already know all the right decisions, because Wendy basically makes all the right decisions here. There's barely any moments where she makes a wrong decision that leads to a progression in the story where everything is going wrong, and she needs to learn to basically get herself out of the situation to try and help others. No, there's nothing like that for a character arc in no way. She basically is already good, already makes all the right choices, and I just didn't care for her really at the end. Same with Tiger Lily, or the Lost Boys, or not Lost Boys anymore, Lost Kids, because you can't just have boys anymore, even though it takes away one of the core messages of the films that girls are too smart, which is why they can't get lost, and the boys really need a mother figure for them, which is where Wendy's characters come in. No, get rid of that important aspect of the film, of the original film and story that helped with its core themes of growing up. No, get rid of that, and just have the girls just be as dumb as the boys. I'm sorry I've been mentioning a lot of this kind of stuff in my review, but when Disney is as soulless of a corporation as it is, as we learned, especially most recently, it's hard to not take shots at their hypocrisy sometimes, especially when it's shown in these movies where they really don't care. Mulan. So, yeah. Also, Tinkerbell, they got rid of her entire subplot where she had the jealousy of Wendy as Wendy and Peter Pan start to form a friendship, and she doesn't really want that. They got rid of her subplot. What is her point of the story now? She's there. When you need pixie dust, she's there. Tinkerbell just has no point in the story. I can see her being written out of the story and not much would change. Just added some extra magic stuff here and there, and that does involve her, and you'll be fine. Because Tiger Lily is there to, and I'm still spoiling the film, guys, and saves Peter at one time when Captain Hook kills him, and Tiger Lily fixes his wounds and basically comes back to life like nothing happened, like he's fine and all, and claims with the power of friendship that he was able to survive. They used the freaking power of friendship. Jesus Christ. You see my problem with this film. It feels too watered down. And it doesn't help with the fact that Peter Pan is now a villain. And basically, at first, Peter Pan said that Captain Hook went away and doesn't want to be in Neverland anymore and misses his mother. But he left out the part where he cuts off his hand when he came back when he couldn't leave Neverland. And that's how they broke. It gives Hook a tragic villain arc where he's a misunderstood villain and just makes him less threatening and interesting as a character. I miss the days where villains can just be pure evil. Why can't villains be this guy? Like, we need to take notes from this guy right here. Like, Disney. I have a copy of the Frieza saga right here. Here, take it and learn from it. This is how you do pure evil villains that you need to put in your movies. This is what you need. Okay, so yeah, take notes from him. Peter Pan and Wendy sucks. It is also poorly shot. You can't see crap anymore in these Disney remakes. Like, everything's so darkly lit, you can't see a goddamn thing. And it became tedious immediately. The cinematography was way too dark, way too drab, and it made Neverland feel just like another place in the real world. Nothing felt magical about it. It felt way too real. It doesn't feel escapist. The original version just felt more magical, much more exaggerated, but that's the point of it. You want to stay in this fantastical land. Here is just any other island anywhere in the world, with maybe a few bits of magic here and there, but it's no different to something like the Marvel Cinematic Universe or something like that. Seriously, this movie is dull, boring to watch. The directing is lifeless, the acting is horrible. Honestly, this is probably the dullest remake so far that they made. And I've seen plenty of remakes of these movies that they started to become dull, but this just takes it to a whole new level. Like, Jesus Christ. Don't watch this movie. Just watch the original. I know it has some dated elements with the Native Americans, but honestly, I would take that instead of anything here. Because at least with the original film, the core themes of what is really the movie is about is still well presented, and the characters are likable, the music is great, the visuals are nice, the animation is perfect. Seriously, just watch the original. Or if you want a live action Peter Pan that doesn't have racism in it, go watch Steven Spielberg's Hook. It's actually pretty good. Or that other live action, just any other adaptation except this one. Leave this in the dirt. This movie gets an F. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.